Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Outer Wilds. That's the name of this video game. I remember now. I remember. So, we have some interesting leads to follow up on. Wow, that actually... No, this time it definitely did hit the planet, didn't it? Or I guess it could have just flown past the planet. Hold on. Let's see if we can get up to our ship and see what's going on over there. It seemed like it came really close, whatever it was. Whatever that thing is that issues from Big Water World. I've been recording for like 5 seconds and I've forgotten the name of the game and also 100% of the planets that I've tried to talk about. But it could be that it just went past the planet. Yeah, there it is. You can see the purple light there. Okay, never mind. Oh, shoot, I'm not actually out of ammo yet. There we go. It's actually very easy to take off with this thing. Literally all I have to do is hold left shift and not let it go until I break atmosphere. But I nearly failed to do it there. Okay, I got all excited about the purple thing. But now we're back to what we were supposed to be doing, which is this. We're going back to that facility at the South Pole of Brittle Hollow. Because I'm hoping that we will be able to find access where Ryback was not. Not because Ryback is necessarily incompetent, but... Oh wow, when you get here earlier, the planet is mostly intact. It actually gets shredded, I'm assuming, by the impacts over the course of the cycle. Alright, we're just gonna take it real slow here. I have landed the ship pretty sideways, actually. There you go, that'll do. That's like semi-professional. I'll get the hang of this space travel thing yet. Hey, what happens if I leave the ship... Oh, that was a close one. What happens if I leave the ship here and then this bit of the planet's crust gets destroyed by meteor strikes? Like, are we going to be able to... that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. Yeah, am I going to be able to get our ship back if it disappears into the planet's core? I don't know. I don't know. That seems like a real... immaterial sort of problem, given that we know we're going to die at the end of this anyway. If it comes right down to it, we can just intentionally reset the loop. That's real close to the ship, that thing that just happened there. So I am curious about the nature of the event that Brittle Hollow is undergoing right now, because obviously, like, this is not a natural occurrence, right? And there's this big glowy thing, yeah, that guy. It's firing these embers. It looks like maybe a tiny star, but with a volcano on it. I don't know what's going on here. This whole thing is very strange. I feel like we got a lot of mysteries to solve. Okay. And there, of course, is the interloper. So we need to find that entrance. Unfortunately, I did not note which side of the thing... Jesus. Which side of the dome the entrance was on. So I guess we're just going to have to travel all the way around it here. Okay, there we go. That's right, I should have looked for the lander. Alright, Ryback was unable to get in over here, but we're going to see if we can do any better. Well, no, I can't. That's definitely not a mechanism that I know how to interact with. Okay, let's go check out the surface of the planet getting broken apart. Maybe we could approach it from, like, underneath the dome once the right bits of the planet's crust are destroyed. Has that process, like, started in earnest yet? I mean, there's definitely damage being done. Maybe we should go back to the ship, actually. Because I could probably navigate this a little bit more easily with the ship thrusters. Also, I'd be a lot less worried about getting struck by one of these rocks and killed. Although I suppose we don't really have any reason to believe that the ship couldn't be destroyed by one of them. I'm starting to get pretty good at that. Just very nervous about the the flying rocks. Okay, it looks like we're starting to see some breakage here. Let's find out. Shift. There we go. Oh, okay. Nope, you gotta hold it, though. You gotta hold the button. And I've tipped the... Okay, everything's fine. The important thing to remember is that there's always a thruster that takes you in the direction you want to go. You just have to remember which side of the ship it's on due to your rotation. Oh, hold on. That's something we haven't interacted with yet. And it is right next to a gap. Okay, wait. No, I want to go forward and then tilt up. Engage the landing cam. Never mind. Landing cam not necessary. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of this. Up and this way, and... Nope, nope, nope. I just gotta get it. There we go. Hey, hey, hey. Alright. Scintillating commentary. As I basically just try to coax the ship into not killing us. Is an unidentified signal nearby? Okay, it's this big rock. Can I please get this marked as identified, the big rock? Power shard. Quantum fluctuations. Well, is this going to be one of those things where I look away? Yep, okay. Just making sure. Where did it move to? Wait, is there something on top of it? Oh, there totally is. Oh, Jesus. Really? Okay. Coming in pretty fast there. Thought I was going to turn myself to paste for a moment. Alright, what do we got? Plume, Felix, and I have determined this atypical shard of rock is the reason objects in this grove are behaving in a quantum manner. Of note, a unique signal is coming from this shard. Curiously, our friend the Wandering Moon sounds the same. I've also heard the same signal this shard produces calling out from Giant's Deep, Timberhearth, and the Hourglass Twins. Suppose there are other shards like this one. So this isn't a Nomai thing. They were confused by it as well. I guess that makes sense, since we know they were not aware of the nature of the quantum moon. The only other object we've observed displaying this quantum behavior is the Wandering Moon. I imagine the moon's behavior and this grove's are related. Seems sensible. In her note from earlier, Felix mentions this strange type of rock isn't found elsewhere on Brittle Hollow. What if it isn't originally from this planet? Hypothesis. This quantum shard is from the wandering quantum moon. Perhaps it is even a small piece of the moon itself. That seems like a reasonable guess to me. So we could take the scroll out, but it doesn't seem like there's really anything to do with it. I was going to say, we haven't heard any explosions in a minute, but I guess all the big rocks have been falling kind of far away. Ooh, except that one. Okay, there's something down there. They want me to just shoot my scout through here, I guess, because it equipped the scout thing without me pressing the button for it. Well, it turns out it looks like what it looks like in here. This is not actually a useful snapshot. Give me my scout back. I can see down there what it looks like. What we need is to get inside. Beneath your feet lies the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. That seems like a really useful place to get into. If you are preparing to make your first pilgrimage to the quantum moon, descend the steps to the entrance below. The knowledge held within will help you on your journey. Okay, that sounds like us. I'm interested in making a journey to the quantum moon. The trees are moving. The trees in this grove wander about freely. The entire plant, roots and all. This is not normal, even for this alien planet. And I never see them move. Is that even possible? Strictly speaking, no, but it's definitely happening. If anyone else witnesses this disturbing behavior, I implore you, record your observations here. Either these trees are aberrant, or my brain must be. Plume is right. The trees do move. I confess I didn't notice until I read his notes. You might say, that's ridiculous. How could anyone be that unobservant? But I definitely could be. I've had things like that happen. Well, not exactly. You know what I mean. Alarmingly, it isn't only the trees. There's other matter in this area, such as that unusual shard of rock moving in this same eerie way. I do feel like I would have noticed the shard of rock moving around, given its size. That rock is unusual for another reason, too. It possesses color and texture I've never seen elsewhere on this planet. Hypothesis. This rock shard's presence is significant. We should study it. Could it be what is causing other objects to move about the area? Yeah, it seems like a perfectly reasonable conclusion. So, descend the steps, they say. Is there really no button I can press to slide down this? It's just, look at the shape of it, it's perfect. Every game should have the slide mode from Tribes Ascend. Okay, well, I found the steps. That was also really close. So we can see here the Brittle Hollow has started to fall apart in a pretty serious way already. It's wild. So as we get closer to the center of the planet, gravity seems to be increasing. Which is... Boy, I'm ignorant enough to not even know if that's the way we would expect that to work. Should it work that way? I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't much matter. What matters for our purposes is that it is working that way. Entrance to the Tower of Quantum Knowledge below, 90 meters. I'm assuming that this would take us there pretty much safely. What is this for? Oh, okay. This is for turning the thing on and off. Can I switch it to go upward? Alright, for right now we want it in down mode, probably. But important to remember that that's there, I'm sure. Southern Observatory, south 550 meters. I wonder if that's going to turn out to be that other dome. Okay, so it really wants me to shoot scouts in there. Is it the case that I'm just not going to be able to actually physically access this chamber? So the only way we have of seeing what's inside is the scout. Well, this doesn't go anywhere I want it to go. Let's see what's over here. Well, another Nomai skeleton. What are you? Oh, you're probably holding one of these paths, right? Yeah. So, wait, where's that originating? It looks like it just kind of starts out in the middle of space. I think what we're seeing here is that this one is broken. This one is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's probably they're supposed to be connected to those over there. I'm assuming if I were to get in that, it would like move me out to here and then just drop me. Which would cause me to fall into the planet's core, which is a scary proposition. Alright, let's try to get to the quantum knowledge source here. Hopefully before everything falls apart on us. Where are we at time-wise? 12 minutes? So, like, provided I don't die a lot in silly ways, we're going to have, like, 3 cycles per video pretty comfortably, 4 if I want to stretch it. We should be able to learn a lot each time. Man, it's really kind of unpleasant to look at whatever's happening in the core here. They really seem to like this pattern on a lot of the walls in their structures. Be welcomed in this place. Above you stands the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. This was written by a person called Bells. If you are making your first pilgrimage to the Quantum Moon, ascend these stairs and obtain the last of the knowledge you need for your journey. Ascend these stairs? These ones right here? Boy. We may not have until the planet goes, or until the sun goes supernova. Where's this supposed to take me? The crossroads. Okay, if I turn this on... Well, it looks like it actually does still connect to its other loop. Alright. Hold on. I'm gonna try to ascend these stairs and obtain my knowledge. So is this one of these things where I'm gonna get to... Yep, it totally is. Okay, gravity has just changed very slightly for us. Oh, and as soon as we walk off of this, gravity returns to normal. So we could try something like... this? No, I can't. The thrusters don't run for long enough. I was trying to jump off and then just boost up from there. So, I'm assuming this surface works the same if I get up on it. Yeah, but if I jump, that's really strange. If you jump, as soon as you're no longer in foot contact with it, gravity returns to normal. Well, we don't know for sure that this damage was not caused by a meteor. It's possible that if we got here quickly enough at the beginning of a new cycle, we'd be able to climb higher, but like it's pretty obvious that that's not this right here. This panel is not enough rock to cover all that space. So I'm not really sure how we would. Do we see any other material of this type? Not really. All right, we'll try to come back here quickly at the beginning of the next cycle. For now, looks like I need to reverse this thing. Let's see where this goes. So how do I choose? All right, if I do nothing, it puts me in this direction. I'm wondering if I could have turned by holding the other direction. We'll try that next time. And there's just nothing on this island? Alright, trying to remember to keep the flashlight on. I'm a little concerned about how faint some of the controls here seem to be. It definitely seems like this system is not doing so hot. Hey, Tarman, how you doing? Ryback, we found him. Oh, you launched. That's great. Great job, you. Wow, I guess that means I've been out here a while, huh? Well, this is Brittle Hollow. You probably knew that. A lot of history here. It's great. Okay, what are you doing here? Well, I'm here to see the Hanging City. It's always been my dream to see it with my own 4 eyes, ever since I was a hatchling. An alien race lived in this solar system long before our species even existed. How could I not want to see what their civilization was like? Only, you've probably heard the others say it, right? I'm afraid of space. Seriously, I'm more surprised than anybody that I'm out here. You want to know how I even got this far? I fell. Tripped over a gravity crystal. It's dumb luck that I landed somewhere my little scout says is halfway stable, instead of being sucked into what's below. I've been gauging the stability of the ground around me using my little scout, and this seems to be the place with the best surface integrity, so I'm just gonna stay here until I'm ready to move on. I have some bad news for you, man. But that's enough about me and my problems. You didn't come all this way to listen to me blather, did you? That'd be... yeah. I learned something. Oh, cool. What is it? Actually, never mind. No, I totally have learned things. I should tell him. Okay. If you do learn something new about the Nomai, though, I'd love to hear it. If you don't mind, I mean. Okay. Where should I explore here? Wow, where shouldn't you explore here? Well, not the black hole. Actually, that's very no. Which is unfortunate because the most exciting stuff is all below the crust, including the Hanging City. That's just to the north. You can kind of see it from here. There's also this big dome on the South Pole called the Southern Observatory. You can't get inside from the surface. Trust me, I tried. But if it's like the rest of the Nomai structures here, there's probably a path to it beneath the crust somewhere. Yeah, we'd kind of figured that. Good luck with exploring. If you learn anything about the Nomai, I'd love to hear it, if it's not too much trouble. Okay. I get it. Man wants to know, oh hey, we can roast marshmallows. Yeah, that's cool. Just open up the helmet here on the hostile alien planet. Nothing bad's gonna happen there. Is this a good time to be doing this? Oh, I caught my marshmallow on fire. You know what? That actually looks pretty good, though. There you go. That's what you want to like a little crisp, just like on the outside, though. You still want it to be marshmallow on the inside. Which is a little bit of a shame because that means the inside is going to be like really hot. So, chunks of the planet are being destabilized by the impacts and then being sucked into the black hole in the middle where they're okay. Just sort of converted into glowy energy, it looks like. It doesn't... I don't think that energy is actually being, like, shot anywhere. I think it's just sort of, like, flaring off the surface of the black hole. Okay, so that's a problem. Why is there a black hole in the middle of this planet? Who designed this? So when he says the Hanging City is just to the north and that the observatory is just to the south, that means we came from the area below the observatory, really. Right? No, I guess according to the path that was drawn for us, we came from the west. So yeah, if we were going to try to access the observatory, which I expect we would want to do in an earlier bit of the cycle, I mean, that's got to be it, right? Yeah, I don't see a path in from underneath. You know what I'd really love to do is get to my ship. Ship is 16 kilometers out there in the distance, so I guess that's not happening. This will take us back to the tower. What can we still do? Oh, hey, there's a gravity... Okay. So there are gravity crystals all along here. I might be able to jump that high. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's going to be a real problem for me. So anytime you're sort of near one of these crystals, you get this gravity effect. But moving into and out of the gravity effect area is very disorienting. And also, it's hard to be on the wall trying to look at things right side up. Okay, where have we found ourselves? Gravity cannon. East 400 meters. Sorry, cannon? Okay, well, whatever the gravity cannon is... Oh, I guess maybe it's that? We are running short on time. Let's figure out what this says before we get consumed by the supernova. You know, one thing I haven't figured out yet, and I should probably take some time to look at, is if these photos are being saved between runs, and where they are being saved between runs. Because our ship remembers things from previous runs, so it might, like if the photos are going to the database there, Gravity Crystal Workshop above. Okay, I'm assuming that I don't have any other interaction possible with this thing, right? Hey, what do you think? So that's the structure that I think is called the Gravity Cannon. There's the South Pole thing. Really, this is just a map. Okay, well, that's not all that interesting. Let's see how far up here we can get before we are consumed. Okay, that's really disorienting, because the way it converts my upward momentum is kind of strange. When it flips us around onto the wall, I don't know how clear this is, but I keep traveling upward relative to myself, and as that direction changes, I have to, like, redirect in order to stay on the wall. It's really pretty strange. Yeah, it's a lot easier when I don't have to thrust upward to do it. Like, that was pretty straightforward, that little transfer we did there. Tony Hawk would be proud. So, dormant gravity crystals. Probably too damaged to work, I guess. Where are we? Ooh, that was a little too much thrust there. Please, thank you. Oh, ghost matter things. Snapshot. Yeah, ghost matter in that building. So yeah, these things are on the ground all over the place wherever there is ghost matter, it looks like. And I'm assuming as long as we stay out of the area demarcated by them, we are in no danger? Probably. I figure at some point we will probably... Huh. Whose is this? I wonder if this is one of Ryback's old campsites? Why would he bring an extra sleeping bag, though? He has his with him. Sun's looking pretty angry. Maybe this is somebody else's campsite. Not getting any signal reads terribly nearby. I'm assuming this read is just... Yeah, that's just Ryback. I should make sure to equip the signal scope and scan friendlies when we're near them so that their signals will not read as unknown. Well, this is certainly interesting. Shoot, that's... Okay, hard to turn around the thrust. Hey, we managed to actually expend 50% of our fuel. Seems like it would be really hard, unless you're actually using your thruster for, like, real space travel. It seems like it'd be really hard to run out before the event. Yeah, and our ship is all the way across the galaxy here. Oh, no. Okay. I guess, is it worse to be killed by a black hole than it would be to get killed by the supernova? Probably not, right? And since we're kind of running out of time on that, everybody steel yourselves, because I'm about to intentionally jump into a black hole. Oh, this is upsetting. I have a fear of heights that is pretty severe, and it is only sometimes set off by video games. Oh, whoa. What am I seeing here? It looks like we're just seeing the black hole, or we're seeing the thing. The supernova occurring. This is not exactly what I was expecting would happen. We're actually quite close to our ship now. Oh, it has actually put me in the middle of... Wait a minute. There's something in the supernova. Did you see that? It was like, it looked like scaffolding or a platform or something. Okay, who wants to go jump in a black hole? What I was saying there, what I was attempting to say, was that video game heights in video games don't always set off my vertigo. I have no idea what it is that causes some games to do it and some games not to. For example, like Apex Legends doesn't do it at all, and I have no idea why, which is good, because at the beginning of that game you jump out of a plane on purpose. But here, that fall into the black hole, that felt like falling to me, because the human brain is stupid and easily tricked. Alright, let's get back up there. There are things happening on Brittle Hollow that I want to explore more thoroughly, and then we're going to jump in the black hole again, because I'm very curious about that as well. Yeah, this game has got me 100% in its clutches. If only all spaceflight was as easy as liftoff. Just don't touch anything aside from the one button, and everything will be okay. Ah, Brittle Hollow. There we go. Ah, apparently the thing that is shooting all of the terrain-destroying rocks has a name. I guess Hollow's lantern is appropriate. I am actually coming in very fast, though. You can't just hold the button, you know? Alright, I overshot it. I overshot it by a small amount. We're just going to reverse that problem. I'm sure the spaceflight will get to feeling more natural to me eventually. Trying to match. I want to land near this platform here. We are definitely going to lose our ship again. This is how we got inside last time. That's like an okay landing. That landing... Oh, Jesus. Okay, I think that the plate underneath us cracked right at that moment. Not 100% sure what happened there. I get that they're doing a thing here, but I do kind of wish this sequence was skippable, especially in a case like this where I haven't learned anything. I don't have anything to talk about during the rewind. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what happened there. I unbuckled right as all of a sudden the ship flipped over. So I'm assuming there was an explosion near us. Either that or my landing was just unstable enough that the ship was tipping already and I happened to unbuckle at a rough moment. And apparently, impacts can be lethal very easily if you do not have your safety belt fastened securely. So let that be a lesson to you, kids. Okay, I have locked on the wrong thing. Here we go. Let's try to match as we approach. Maybe we should land on the other side of the planet. The side closer to the gravity cannon, right? Having a heck of a time, like, maneuvering around the planet. I can't tell if it's moving away from me, or if I'm moving away from it, or if those two things... I guess those two things aren't really different. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is an approach vector. Just start to match. Hey, that structure actually looks really familiar. Oh, wait, how do I roll? There we go. There we go. That structure looks familiar. That's not a structure. That's a ship. That's like the ship that we found. Okay, just hold down thrusters until you're solid. Now unbuckle. Wait for the ride to come to a safe stop before stepping out. I wonder if I would have been okay if I'd had my suit on in that last one. But yeah, this is one of those crashing on my ships with the escape pods, right? That's why this looks familiar, because it's like the ship we saw on the other planet. Yep, and here's the escape pod. Well, let's go ahead and mark this signal. So this is escape pod 1. Is everyone unharmed? No one was badly injured from the escape pod's impact. We are incredibly fortunate. This is good news, at least. Have we heard from escape pod 2 or 3? No, I'm unable to make contact. My equipment can hear the other 2 escape pods' distress signals, however. If it's any comfort, both pods must be structurally intact. I'll continue calling for them. My gratitude. If we can... Thatch, the moon is approaching again. Everyone brace yourselves, swiftly. The volcanic moon has returned. Be cautious of falling ash and debris. Okay, and then the moon passed. This planet doesn't appear eager to have guests. We are certainly unwelcome on its surface. We need to find shelter, and quickly. The volcanic moon won't be gone for long. Okay, so the volcanic moon has been a problem for a long time. I observed several promising sites below the surface, but we'll need to construct a way for everyone to climb safely down this cliff. Perhaps we could build platforms. Or perhaps you could use your crazy gravity crystals. Okay, so I think I misunderstood something a little bit before. I was thinking that this thing that we saw on the other planet was the ship, and this little thing was the escape pod, but this is a beacon they set up afterward. That's the escape pod, which means that the initial ship must have been really huge, like unbelievably huge. Alright, let's jump in here. It's kind of remarkable that whatever they're using for power is still functioning after all this time. And I mean, we don't exactly know what I mean by all this time. No sense of the time scale that we're talking about here at all. But whatever it is, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so they go from top to bottom, right? Begin flight log, escape pod 1. Vessel has been mortally injured. Emergency sequence activated. Escape pod 3, 2, and then 1 were launched. Collision imminent. Scanning external environment. Scan complete. Minor structural instabilities detected. Pockets of breathable air detected. Adequate solar energy detected. Pretty much hospitable, provided you can survive it. Okay, and that's just the writing on the hatch that says it's a hatch. Yeah. So they did not have to blow the escape hatch. They climbed out basically through the windshield here. I can open the escape hatch. Oh boy, I maybe shouldn't have... Oh jeez. I maybe shouldn't have done that. Well, okay. So these are not super stable, these platforms that they constructed. We've seen them break off already. I guess we ought to follow them down. See exactly where they descended to. Yeah. Unstable. And prone to taking out other platforms with them as they fall. Great. I'm wondering, actually, if the impact of me landing on them is breaking them, like... Because they're... Now it has been the case that 100% of the ones we've fallen hard onto have broken, I think. So maybe I need to be careful, like try to soften my landings a little bit. Use caution. A black hole sleeps below. You must not slip. Is that what it's doing down there? Sleeping? Because it looks like it's eating. Okay. Well, I guess we're going over to that thing. This would be a really bad time to fail the jump. Try to soften the landing. Like that. Well, I don't think I hit that particular platform very hard, so... Maybe it's just any pressure on certain ones breaks them. It's not that I'm hitting them hard, it's that they're just... Some of them are weakened. Oh hey, I totally got distracted. The whole point of coming over here, and it's very dark in this space, the whole point of coming over here was to try to get to that wall before the planet got beat up too much. Of note, be sure not to wander far from here. Though this area is somewhat unstable, it's safer than any we've found so far. The temporary settlement is finished, but remember to be cautious of falling rocks and dust created by meteor impacts. So, the planet has been... Oh, that is terrifying. Didn't have me walking around on the roof here. But so the planet has been in this state, more or less, being constantly struck by meteor impacts for, let's say, millions of years, because my species had time to evolve sentience, right? Or sapience, at least. So why is it actually all falling apart now? This knowledge is too dear to lose. Here is everything we can recall about the signal we encountered while aboard the vessel. The signal looked like an eye, round, with a circle at the center, much like a pupil. Suppose the signal was looking for something. The signal was older than the universe itself. This is the most significant detail. Yes, I would say that is fairly significant. No Nomai clan has ever encountered anything like it. How can anything in the universe be older than the universe? Imagine what rare and profound knowledge it might offer. We must find this eye of the universe. So this right here may be the moment when they came up with that name, huh? Can I pick this up or... okay. Cannot interact with that thing in any way. We have the ability to fire our scout down through here. Okay, so that's the dark bramble, maybe? Oh, that's right. We can use the scout to determine the surface integrity of things. We were told that by what's-his-face? Wait, what keys are those supposed to be? The buttons on in front of rotate camera are so tiny. I think those are... Jesus. I think those are 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, so that goes up. Alright, so the eye had something to do with this. The eye, like, called out to a thing. Maybe that's their ship. And then... 4, here we go. Then the ship was grabbed by something and sealed within the dark brambles. They fired out the escape pods. 2 of them made it out. That thing on the left is the twins. That thing on the right is Brittle Hollow. And then one of them got entrapped by the brambles and never escaped. And that's it. That's all the information we get. Ooh, also there's a thing there. I wonder if I shot the scout close enough to that bit of writing, could I read it? No, I'm gonna have to get... well, hold on. We can try to get a little closer than that. Oh, scout sticks to walls. It will not just fall. That's pretty close. No, I'm gonna have to get down there. Okay, well, we did not do the thing that I came here to do, but we did learn a lot of interesting stuff. And we're not out of time yet on this cycle. Not quite, anyway. Let's see if there's anything else interesting to find around here. And there's a lot of ledges and buildings and stuff. Although I admit I'm a little bit lost. I don't remember. Did we come from this way or that way? No, we came... hold on. That way has the path up onto the roof. I'm pretty curious about that, actually. Let's try to get over there before all the bridges collapse. Given concerns about our settlement's stability, where should we construct a new, less temporary shelter? We need to stay close to the escape pods so Felix can monitor incoming messages. We can't be rescued if we aren't present to respond. I don't believe anyone is coming to save us, Thatch. Now we must save ourselves. I agree. We're here because the Eye's signal called to us and we followed. If we're to find it, we need to not merely survive, but thrive. This is a wise point, Bloom, and eloquently made. If moving to the northern glacier will keep us safer, then that is what we should do. I believe we should migrate to the glacier. What if we use gravity crystals to craft a stable path? Building beneath the crust again would shelter us from the volcanic move's eruptions. Okay, so this is a path that takes us to the glacier, then? In theory? That's very disorienting. Okay, well, let's move quickly while this part of the crust is still intact. Oh, shoot. Well, I guess we're going into the black hole again. I'm trying to hit whatever this is. Oh god, oh god. Okay. That was very close. It looks like the... okay, that's not great. The inside of this wall is covered entirely with... entirely with that surface we can walk on. What is this? School? Meltwater, Eye Shrine, Black Hole Forge District. Black Hole Forge. We've seen this symbol before. This was on Hearth. It was like carved into the ground, quite large. Interesting. Let's go to the school. That's the one of these we saw first. And I think, sadly, on this round, we are fated to die by asphyxiation, which is not my favorite way to go. We can see the Black Hole Forge up there. This game is really fascinating to me. I'm like, way into this. Okay, no. Okay. It is hard to transfer surfaces gracefully. Yeah, for example. So, like, oof. It probably was not super clear what happened right there, and I apologize if the sudden perspective changes are unpleasant for people. But what happened right there is I fell off of the wall trying to do that transfer up onto the other wall, and in order to stop myself, I engaged the thrusters and the booster. The booster is the same button as jump, and it gave me a bunch of upward momentum. So I caught the wall, but as soon as I caught the wall, I started moving up from the wall because I had a bunch of upward momentum, and it just kicked us back off the wall. It's going to be really hard to move around in those chambers, and I bet there's going to be stuff like that on every planet. Seems like the Nomai are really into their gravity tricks. Okay, here's a problem. We may as well suit up immediately. I'm not sure that I can get us back there. Because we got to that area of the city 100% by accident. But let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Or if we can really just anything interesting or valuable that we can pull off. Alright, so the arrows tell us a little bit about basically how am I going to miss the thing. So like if I press left right now, you can see that arrow represents like how much I need to press to the right to actually make contact with our target. I am slowly starting to get the grasp of navigating by these instruments. Alright, so yeah, I think this is what we want to do. We want to come down near the ship, so I need to tilt upward and then go into landing cam mode. Slow it, slow it, slow it. You know what? That was an okay landing. I'll take it. Yeah, we're going to have to do probably like a couple episodes of diving on each of these worlds before we really have a good sense of what the overall structure of winning the game is going to look like. There's a lot of exploration to do. It's kind of a tiny little solar system. Each of the planets is also tiny, but it turns out there's a lot to do on them. Okay, I need to get inside here. I am very pleased that it's starting to feel like a lot less of an imposition to just navigate around in space. Out of curiosity, if we were to fire our scout out here... Sorry, I want to pull this back. I'm trying to figure out if we can tell which ones of these are going to break. So I'm going to land on this hard on purpose. And that one read as having a structural integrity of 100%, right? So we cannot really use the scout to tell what's going to break here. We can probably use it to tell what's going to break of the pieces of the crust. Okay, did I actually read this? I don't remember what this said. Oh yes, the black hole sleeps below. Of course. Oop, that's a bad place to hit a wall. Oh dear. Well, we might be going into the black hole real quickly this time. I'm going to try to get us over to this thing. Our path is being bent pretty seriously by the black hole, which is... Ow, crap. That was a lethal impact. Hey, look at that. We learned something. You can, in fact, die by slamming into something at too high a speed. I, of course, had my intuitive assumption about that, but we did not have mechanical confirmation. So, learning. Yeah, that jump got snuffed a little bit by me crashing into the rock wall. I really like this format for this thing, because you get to represent some of the difficulties of, like, zero gravity or low gravity exploration in a way that would feel unnecessarily brutal and punishing with most games' mechanics. But because you can die and re-up and just be back on the planet and doing the thing again within, like, 30 seconds, it doesn't feel so bad. Where the hell is Brittle Hollow? I'm gonna have to get some kind of intuitive sense. There we go. Some kind of intuitive sense for where things are relative to our starting facing. Yeah, at first I was a little worried about the fact that the cycle is so short, but now I get it. If you're gonna make the game pretty lethal, reasonably lethal, as space travel is, right, and would be, especially in these circumstances, you really don't want to put the players in a position where they're having to wait very long to recreate any particular set of conditions. Okay, landing cam, roll. We'll try to not do this thing. Just gonna give us a little bit of a push, and then there we go. Look at that, I'm getting the hang of controlling this thing. Okay, this time I am not going to turn myself into a fine paste on the side of a Nomai structure. Please understand that is aspirational, it is not a promise. Ooh, okay, kinda almost did it again there. And I appreciate how much give there is on those things. Like, I was not patiently waiting for the ball to catch up with the cursor on that. I was just going for it. And it works, because they know that you're going to have to do that a bunch of times, so it is willing to allow you to do it the fast, impatient way. Alright, flashlight on so that I can see where the rock walls are. There we go. Okay, can we see where the base of the path to the roof is? Because figuring out that is going to be the first step. It looks like I want to be around the other side of this thing. Yeah, figuring that out is going to be the first step on recreating the jump we did. Okay, so it's just right here. And we don't necessarily have to do that even. We could just try to walk. So, the problem I had last time is that this is too great a distance. I was not near enough a gravity crystal the whole time. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's a good way to tell. Like, there's no obvious indication on the ground where the end of the gravity crystal is. I wonder if we took a picture. Sometimes we can see stuff. That's not what I wanted. No, there's no indication in the photograph of where the edge of the gravity crystal area is. And if I jump, I'm going to leave the control of the crystal and end up in the black hole. Well, that was a dead end. Yeah, see, that looks like too far to me. I guess let's find out. And if we fall, we can just try to aim for that thing. I'm totally gonna fall. Oh, no, okay. Apparently the area is a little larger than I was afraid of. I am definitely afraid right now, though. The fear of falling upwards is not really something that I've had to grapple with a lot. But I'm trying really hard right now not to look up. Which is a new sensation for me. Is there... Okay, no, there's not a little path into the rocks over there. Where exactly am I going? We're gonna get over here, and then it kind of looks like the path just terminates? Okay, no, it goes into the rocks. At this point, if we were to fall, it would not be so bad. And in fact, from these platforms, I'm pretty sure we can just make it back to the roof. Okay, and then it becomes this thing. So I need to jump high enough to catch that, but not with so much force that I immediately bounce off of that surface. I can't tell. Am I good? There we go. My foot was stuck on something. This is kind of disorienting. Alright, everything is cool and fine and normal right here. I can hardly express the amount of normalcy that I am feeling at this moment. Wait, okay, hold on. Where am I relative to normal gravity? Okay, normal gravity is this way. I'm looking at it. Nope. Alright. Well, so like what killed these Nomai? They were just sitting here at the table? Because it kind of seems like some of the Nomai skeletons we've seen kind of seem like they were in the middle of stuff, like they died suddenly, right? But how could that be the case? I mean, I guess it makes sense that there was some kind of catastrophic event here. And I don't know why I'm even taking this out. Like, we know there's a picture right there. Huh. I just got shoved down the stairs. I didn't move there. Okay, the ghost matter is actually in that room. So the little pegs on the floor tell you... They give you a pretty advanced warning, it looks like. You get a lot of grace on those. And I've fallen off the stairs. Alright, let's see where this goes. Yeah, fair enough. Upstairs. Kind of seems like the Nomai did not believe in stairs. There's another thing down there that's currently not turned on. We could just go down there. Oh, thank God, a big tree. What is that sound? That might be, like, totally... Yeah, alright. That sound is just part of the music track. It is not a diegetic sound. Ghost matter detected nearby. Alright, well, we're clear up here. We don't see the pegs on the ground, which is why I was hesitating. Okay, here's a school. And they were in class, right? Whatever killed all these guys does seem to have suddenly killed them. There was teaching going on. We're in the middle of some teaching. Explanation of festivals. So this writing is a little bit, like, larger. I wonder if this is supposed to be, like, writing that's easy for children to read. The swirly parts are a little bit further apart. It looks, like, big and elementary. All the Nomai clans from all over the universe meet in one place to share what they've learned in science and art. It's called the Festival. Don't forget, festivals happen every 10 years. At some festivals, one clan's big discovery can mean all the Nomai get to advance too. Like Inanna's warp core, which made it so everyone can warp long distances and explore more. Each clan has a festival envoy to show their most interesting work. Our envoy was Thatch. A single festival could last a long, long time. We can't go to the festival because we're stuck here, but Felix says we used to go too. So I appreciate the writing for the little side note here is actually smaller. Alright, let's pull this, because there's a scroll over in that rack on the wall, and I'm curious what that says. Put this down right here. Why we should build a new vessel. Each Nomai clan explores the universe in its own vessel. The vessel is the heart of every clan. It's unusual for Nomai to remain in one place for so long. Nomai are wanderers and have no permanent home. If we built a new vessel, we could return to our adventurous way of life. Imagine all the new places we could go. Our clan wouldn't be stuck here in this star system. We could even meet with other Nomai and learn from them, like Coleus says we used to. It probably wouldn't be hard to get parts if we stopped building other new things, and if we broke down other structures like the towers on Ash Twin for parts. We might have to build a smaller vessel for now, even though vessels are normally large. But we could make it bigger later, once we reach planets with more resources. It would also help if we stopped building so many things to search for the Eye of the Universe. I asked Yarrow, and he said we use lots of resources on the Ash Twin project. We could even have a warp core for jumping long distances like vessels have. Poke tells me she plans to make a very advanced warp core for a different project. I'm sure she could connect it to the vessel for travel, because Poke is smart. So it seems like there's a little bit of a schism going on here, between the people who want to get back to their old way of life and the people who want to find the Eye of the Universe. We have no idea how long they were trapped here, and I had been assuming that the escape pod had only had a small crew in it, like the other escape pod. We saw, what, 4 names? But here, we're talking about enough people to have a whole society. Unless they are very prolific and were down here for several generations, it's hard to imagine that all of this is, like, birth, right? Most of these people must have come with them. Okay, so if we drop down to the lower floor... Ooh, ghost matter, ghost matter. Well, this is that, this is where that ghost matter was detected. It's just right in that central area, right where we need to be. We could probably make it out like this. Aha! Take that, ghost matter. Can't stop me, apparently. Also, we were in this building, right? Because that's the guys at the dinner table. We could totally have just gone around. Whatever. Apparently that little ledge is stopping me from walking forward. So this gets us to those vertical shafts that we were at earlier. So now we have a way of getting here that doesn't rely on me making a huge, desperate jump that I'm not sure I can repeat. Alright, well, let's try to get to the Black Hole Forge, because I'm pretty curious about that. We're going to have to go all the way up. Hold on. Wait. Ooh, that's super weird when I'm looking at my feet while I do it. Let's go this way. See if this shaft is as broken up at the top. So there are platforms we could get out on. I think the thing I am most interested in is all the way at the top, though. Although, unfortunately, it looks like we are not going to be able to access that this way. Alright, well, let's try getting out here. So we're pretty close to the roof. I think we are going to have to take that broken shaft that we couldn't get up before. Let's see what's in this direction. Your character does get stuck on some awfully small ledges and inclines, which is kind of annoying. Yes, I did temporarily forget what the button for the booster was. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of dead Nomai. There were a lot of people here. I'm trying to take the most direct path up toward the forge. I do see the grav shaft that was over there, but I'm worried that it's going to take us up to a different place. Actually, it looks to me like if we wanna get up to the forge, we're gonna have to go up that shaft. All right, here we go. Let's just try to get it right this time. Okay, so yeah, see when I get the controls get a little weird when I get close to the edge of the gravity area. Okay. So I'm going to jump and engage the jets, and then I'm going to rotate in space naturally, and then I'm going to engage the boosters. Oh, that almost worked. Where am I? Okay, alright. Well, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, are we going to be able to squeeze through that hole? That's my hope. I don't think that I don't think that surface is actually working. Oh yeah, actually you can see, like, this is glowing a little bit, like it's powered. Those ones totally aren't. We're not going to be able to get any higher here. Well, alright, let's try to take that grav shaft that's over here. Maybe we can get up in a kind of a roundabout way. I did not note the time at which we started this loop, so I'm not sure how close to the end of it we are. I know it's got to be pretty close. No, 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 no. Shoot. Bad. It's bad. Well, into the black hole we go. Okay. So, going into the black hole teleports us right next to the star. It was just about to go supernova here, which makes sense. It says that I have thrust control. Yeah, I think I'm moving. What if we just go straight into it? I'm just going to go straight into it, because I want to see what's in there. It's very bright. It seems like we stopped moving forward at some point. Ooh, we're getting some weird distortion on the edges of my vision. Yeah, I actually can't go any further forward than that. It's too solid to go into. Alright, when it goes supernova in a second here, and expands out toward us, maybe we'll be able to see a little bit more. Huh. This is super weird. So I don't have a way out, though. A bunch of my controls are actually not working. Like, the thrusters can't be, or the boosters can't be applied. I can thrust, but I can't use the boosters. And I can't get into walking mode even when I touch the surface of stuff. Yeah, like, what is this? This is the thing that we saw briefly. Where am I? Now the star's over there. Huh. Okay, I'm trying to match with this. It's not really working. What are we looking at here? Maybe when we step into the black hole, we warp onto that thing that we observed really close to the star? But then I'm not 100% clear on how I got to where we are right now. It kind of seems like we went back in time a little bit, right? Because the star is now red when we saw it all white and about to supernova. Well, I mean, we're going to run out of oxygen here in a second. So, I guess this doesn't really matter. Oh, no, wait. Hold on, is that the star? Wait, am I seeing... It's possible the spatial dimensions we are observing here are not the 3 spatial dimensions that we're used to? Maybe? It's like, maybe that's the future? And that's the past? Seems at least possible. Or there's another... That reads as being the sun. And that I can't actually even lock on. Do I have my map? I totally have my map. It doesn't really show my facing, unfortunately. Or the black hole's like a portal to another star nearby, just outside of the solar system. And we... Yeah, like all of the stuff that's falling through the black hole is coming out here. These are the chunks of the planet. But unfortunately, I can't get onto anything. You know, chunks of the planet are coming out with the gravity crystals on them. Oh, fuel depleted using oxygen as propellant. That's not going to work in this moment, given the amount of oxygen we have left. Yeah, that's very strange. Who would have thought the experience of falling through a black hole is, like, pretty weird? I think we were still observing spatial dimensions. It's not the same. That white thing is not the sun going supernova. I just thought it was because when we saw it the first time I jumped in the black hole, the sun was close to going supernova at that moment. Ooh, that wake-up gasp of being able to breathe again is like a really rough sound. Maybe I'm perceiving something that's not in there, but it sure feels like some real actual suffering. Alright, we're gonna do one more loop, because I am I am overwhelmed by curiosity. I'm not ready to stop for the moment. Let's get back up there one more time. I want to try to access the Black Hole Forge. And we're just going to go a little faster and better. Faster and also better. It does no job to go... It does no help... It does us no good. There you go. That's an English way of expressing that. To go faster if I'm doing as bad of a job as I have been on the a couple of these attempts. Right, fire the retros. Maybe fire them harder. Really, really trying to slow down. Okay. There we go. Everything's fine. I think I actually do... Whoa. Okay, hold on. Stuck a little bit. I think I actually do still want to land near the pod. Let's jet over there real quick. All of the uneven ground here is a little awkward, too. Put it down. Okay, cool. I'm getting, like, okay at that. And if it seems like I am repeatedly congratulating myself on very simple tasks, sometimes the same simple tasks over and over again, what you're hearing is me overcompensating for my poor self-esteem. You know, sometimes you just gotta be nice to yourself about stupid stuff. So that when moments like this happen, where you do a bad job, the doubt voice doesn't creep in and take over. The doubt voice is every person's truest foe. Yeah, the cursor interaction devices are, like, extremely forgiving. Alright, we can skip down here a little bit more carefully because we are good at operating our spacesuit. I gotta say, it took me a little while to start to get the feeling of it, but now navigation is feeling pretty natural, and it's getting intuitive, as you can probably tell from the fact that I have managed to narrowly save us once or twice in situations where things went really awry. Is this really the way I want to do this, though? I do find the experience of walking on the roof, like, harrowing, but I guess I don't know what else I would do that would be reproducible. We just have to go quickly, that's all. Wait, is this different? I don't think that chunk was missing already last time, was it? I could have sworn there was a double path of crystals the whole way out. Maybe I'm... Oh, close. Close and loud. Maybe I'm misremembering, but maybe the planet doesn't always break down the same way. And we know that things don't happen exactly the same way from day to day, because of whatever it is that issues forth from Giant's Deep. So it's not exactly a Groundhog's Day type scenario. So I guess some days this path is just going to be harder to walk than others. Hopefully we won't have to do this too many more times. Because my heart is in my throat right now. Space travel is too scary. Yeah, a piece of the path was missing, right? Am I just imagining that? Whatever, we're fine now. We managed to get a foothold on this wall. Maybe I just walked a little bit differently this time than I did last time. Alright, so we want to come down here, out this way, over the tiny impassable lip. I do wish that we could, like, run. Where was that tree? The tree is in that building. We should probably go and refresh our oxygen, actually. So we gotta go around the ghost matter. No, that's actually... We want to go down? How did I get up there before? Yes, this right. This is right. Because we are at like half O2 here. Okay, there we go. I guess I could have just tried to jump into the hole on the side there, straight from here, but that seems a little bit more failure-prone, a little bit riskier. This is super cool. I'm getting like so absorbed in the mechanics of trying to get around in here. I'm letting myself be blasé to the fact that they built an entire city on the inside of this planet's crust. Like, I don't think I've really taken a moment to appreciate how extremely cool this is. Too busy fearing for my life. Not spending enough effort enjoying my life. Okay. Hey, recording. I imagine I've been hard on Poke again. This in turn means I've made things difficult for her sister, Clary. If Poke and I are oil and water, Clary is our emulsifier. She certainly makes us a better team than would mixing through shaking. Although sometimes I would like to shake Poke. Jokes aside, suppose my own fear of never finding the eye prompted my argument with her. That would be immature of me. I should apologize, at least to Clary, who could then tell Poke. I don't know if that's supposed to be Poke or Poke. I'm gonna not make the assumption that it's like a Japanese-style root, but oh Jesus, there's no floor there. Okay. Let's go to the place where the floor is. What is up here? Nothing. Well, at least we looked. Okay, so this is all this was going to take us up to anyway. That right there is a piece of text that we have not read before. Yeah, wow, whatever killed them like extremely suddenly. This one was actually right in the middle of eating. And is remarkably undisturbed. Be welcomed in this place. This shrine is a space to reflect on what brought us to this star system. The signal from the Eye. We observed the Eye's signal in our travels and followed it here to find its source. What we know is this: the source of the signal, which we have chosen to call the Eye of the Universe, is older than this universe itself. The rest we have yet to learn. Enter, and open your mind to its possibilities. What is the Eye's signal? Suppose the Eye wishes to communicate. The signal is the Eye's voice. It speaks a language we don't yet know. Or maybe the signal is the Eye's attempt at expressing itself. The signal is a call. Were we the intended audience? Of note, from the signal we were able to determine the Eye's approximate age, or perhaps its lack of age. Really? Huh, I wonder how that works exactly. How can the Eye be older than the universe itself? Suppose it is a relic from a previous universe. The early universe was unimaginably hot and dense. If anything existed before, it would have been destroyed. Suppose the universe is older than previously assumed. What is the Eye of the Universe? The Eye is older than this universe, so imagine how much it could teach us. Perhaps it is a cosmic library. Suppose the Eye is a more advanced being. The Eye is the source of the signal that brought us here. The way that their writing system like spirals out by idea, I think is really cool. Make it tough to follow a conversation, though. Well... So this says enter. This is probably a door, right? Into whatever's through here. Unfortunately... Are we at the... Okay, we are at the South Pole. So yeah, we have to figure out how to operate these doors, because there's another... This looks a lot like the thing that's blocking the entrance on the surface, right? Or the one that's just below the surface, rather. Scout launcher. Let's try something. Take snapshot. No, I need a snapshot from, like, the bottom surface of the scout, unfortunately. I mean, I think this kind of looks like glass, but it's opaque anyway. Well, I don't really know what to make of that. Ow. Okay, I don't think we've been in here. Who's just writing on the walls? I no longer believe, as I did as a child on Ember Twin, that the eye of the universe, the source of the signal, wishes to harm us. But it may not want to be found either. So this person, Solanum, was a child on Ember Twin. They were definitely here for at least a generation. My guess is quite a bit more. The terrible circumstances of our arrival here were almost certainly exactly that. Circumstance. I suspect imagining we are special to the Eye in some way is wishful thinking. The Eye might have called out to any sentient species. Or it might not have been calling out at all, and that my ancestors heard the Eye's signal holds no great deep meaning. This wouldn't be so bad, I think. In fact, the Eye may not have wishes at all. We have no evidence supporting this. Yeah, my assumption would be that the Nomai were not special, right? Like, it seems way more likely that the Eye is probably not a thing that was calling out at all. It's just sort of like physics, you know? It's a fact of the universe. Apparently I got close enough to this tree to refill my air. It's just a natural occurrence, right? Maybe. I mean, it's all conjecture here. It's just, what are the odds that it would be something special? I think at every point, at every species at some point has to grapple with its own insignificance, and maybe the Nomai had just never gotten around to that. Okay, if I were going to try to get to the roof, how would I pull it off? Because this is a dead end. I mean, there are floors in this building that go up pretty high, but not near the roof. The only way to get up, really, would be there. We'd have to use this shaft to get the rest of the way up, but we know we can't do that. Let's get on this wall. If we get up near the top of this, can we see through it all? Not really. Maybe the only real way to approach the forge is to use the ship? Wait until Brittle Hollow falls apart a little bit, and then use the ship to navigate the hollow and get up there? Because we could land on one of those platforms, potentially. I mean, it would require some pretty precise control that I'm not sure that I actually have. There's not any footholds or anything. Is there a way maybe around the back side of these? No, not really. Oh, there is a big ledge up there. The ship is actually still on the planet's surface. I wonder if we could get back to it. I don't have any way of calling to it or anything. What is that down there? Have we been on that? Yeah, we totally have been down here. That was just a shortcut, that's all. Wait a minute, I did not see this before, though. Did we come up these stairs and immediately turn around? Wait, how did I get onto this platform? Where did I come from? I came from up the wall. That's right. Where are those crystals? I'm just trying to, like, orient myself relative to our approach. I'm not sure how I missed these. Well, I guess let's read them before we get kicked out again by the supernova. The Ash Twin project requires a powerful, highly advanced warp core. How should we obtain it? Turns out, nobody had any ideas on that score. And then we just have a couple of empty walls with no scrolls attached. I wonder if there are scrolls somewhere nearby that used to be in these walls? Aha. Yeah, this area is larger and more complex than I was giving it credit for. We could retrieve the warp core from the vessel. This would require a return to Dark Bramble. Plume, my father, said many good Nomai perished there. My mentor, Coleus, and his old mentor once discovered and studied an anglerfish fossil on Embertwin. Using that knowledge, we could avoid the anglerfish entirely. Okay, that's very interesting to me. I remember that anglerfish fossil. We used to play in Fossil Fish Cave when we were children. What Melloray and I learned from that fossil would theoretically help us evade the anglerfish, but our hypothesis was never tested on a live specimen. So, somewhere on Embertwin, there's an anglerfish fossil that'll be useful to us in not getting killed by live anglerfish. The vessel's warp core is broken, at best. Recall, those present when the vessel crashed said it sustained lethal injuries. There is no guaranteed reward for this risk. But perhaps we could still repair it. My grandmother told me there was little time to assess the nature or extent of the damage. Oh, I missed one. Even if it no longer functions, the old core could be a valuable blueprint, provided we're able to transport it back here. So, what's left of the vessel is in Dark Bramble. We knew that already because of the thing that we read. I'm just making sure that the other scroll was not, like, discarded right around here somewhere. Turns out it's in this building. Solution 2. We could craft a new advanced warp core inspired by the vessel's warp core. The greatest challenge here, I think, is we don't have the design for such a powerful core, or any of the original crafters of the vessel's core. No, but Poke was apprenticed to Anana, who created the original design, and our Black Hole Forge is adept at creating simpler cores. I believe I can be of use here. The vessel's warp core was created before my time, but Anana explained many of his designs to me. Abandoning the vessel's warp core and its casing means losing valuable knowledge. This is true, however, it's knowledge we have little hope of recovering. It would be best to relearn, I think. I would very much like to craft such a powerful core. More relevantly, I believe the Black Hole Forge crew and I could recreate the basic design. This is the safest path for our clan. But is the safest path the best one? Our goal is worth the risk. Is it, though? We've tried for so long to find something that I and others now believe might be impossible to find. If the search for the eye is a futile one, we should choose the option with the least potential for harm. By the way, you can see from the water effects back there, when we're in read mode and I'm not moving the mouse at all, time stops, which is why the cycles have not been exactly the same length this episode. Anytime we do a lot of reading, we're going to get some slower cycles. There's actually an option for that in the menus. I did not mess with it, but there's a whole bunch of cases... Oh, that was weird. There's a whole bunch of cases where you can have the game stop time, and while reading translated text is the only one of them that's on by default, so that's how I left it. Well, I've managed to fall down the stairs. Turns out I'm clumsy in video games just like in real life. I feel strange trying to recreate Anana's warp core without him. At times, it still feels strange to no longer be his very young apprentice, and for the Black Hole Forge to be in my care and not his. Hypothesis. This will always feel strange. Even though my time with him was short, I miss my old mentor, and deeply. To have the chance to try is thrilling, but I don't want to disappoint everyone. I think I can do this, probably, but what if excitement has clouded my assessment of my own abilities? Was I wrong in volunteering to build it? I was born in this star system and never saw Anana's warp core with my own 3 eyes. I only know what he taught me. What if I've bitten off a larger portion than I can consume? Still, all I can give is my best. And as Anana would say, should my best prove insufficient, then we will find another way to achieve what's needed. I have Clarion Root in the Forge, and I have my clan. I am not alone. So see, the not totally linear way that they write creates some interesting challenges for us in perceiving what they've written here, because in the order we read these, it sounds like Poke is concerned, but then becomes resolute, and the last thought she has is one of, I can do this. She has overcome her doubt. But it's equally possible, right, that this was written, then this was written, then this was written. So we have to kind of I guess, divorce ourselves from the way we normally read text because this text is written in such a different way than what we're used to. It's hard to know exactly how that unfolded in her head. Well, I actually am burning through my fuel. Well, we probably won't be alive that much longer. That's weird. Is that my hand that I'm seeing above us? Not sure. It's a strange shape there. Okay, well, I mean, this does take us up pretty far. I wonder if this is going to get us closer to the forge. Actually, I have no idea where we are. Can I fit through here up to the surface? Oh, I can. Huh. So we're near these ruins in the snow. Looks like we got a little bit of time left. Where's the ship relative to me? It's like on the other side of the planet. Okay, so up on the North Pole, there actually is a little entrance that I probably would never have found by looking around up here. And in fact, I may have already lost. Where was that? It was actually in the water. Oh, here. I think it's right here. Yeah, okay, that's very valuable knowledge. That's going to make it way easier to access that part of the city. Way easier and faster. How thorough were we here? Or is this even a place we were? I think it is. Maybe not. Has anyone observed the phantom moon that sometimes greets us in the night sky? Your thoughts interest me. I compliment your eyes. How do you imagine it disappears? Hypothesis. Could it be a shift in the light spectrum? So this is like one of the very first settlements, then, that they made on this planet. And these are the original names, right? Suppose this moon is too shy to show us its face. I'm interested in your playful moon. Is it much like its violent friend, Hollow's Lantern? This moon isn't volcanic, to my unaided eyes. Sometimes it leaves its friend Hollow's Lantern for nights at a time. The nights the moon circles this planet appear random. It seems to travel as it likes. Imagine if there were 2 volcanic moons. Well, then I'd imagine there'd be none of us left. Hypothesis. There can exist too much lava. I think I agree with that. I'd strongly prefer we test the null hypothesis. Yeah, this is definitely not something that we had explored previously. It seems like we just happened to accidentally park the ship in a place where... a place that didn't get destroyed by any rocks this time. Looks like there's not really anything else of value to glean from these buildings. Let's try those down there. Sun's looking mighty angry. I think our time is coming to a close here. Okay, so we have more of these chambers. Ooh, that was nearby. Where are the objects to plug into these? Actually, what do the symbols look like? I guess they both have the same symbol on them, huh? Was that the case with the ones in the cave that we were able to activate? Did they all have the same symbol on them? Let's see if we can figure out where the activators are. To our friends on Brittle Hollow. I warped here from the White Hole Station on the other side of Brittle Hollow's black hole. Okay, that's what we found, White Hole Station. Our design worked. We've successfully recreated warp travel. I don't know how close it is to Anana's original design, but as long as what we've built works, then I'm delighted. I knew we could do it. Ksava, I hope you're reading this. Wait, this can't be correct. Clary, have you seen these readings? If they were accurate, they would violate causality. There must be an equipment error somewhere. I'm returning to Whitehall Station. If you and Root meet me there, we can run a full diagnostic and hopefully locate the problem. Don't tell Ksava. This is wonderful news. I can't wait to see the warp tower, although it's been a long time since I've jumped through a black hole. Okay, apparently that's just something they sometimes do for fun. Interesting. This is one of our fuel tanks. Huh. Feldspar's spare jetpack fuel. It's annoying to schlep across the planet to the ship if I can't use my jetpack, so I'm leaving this here. You can use it, but you have to replace it, okay? I don't think it's going to be a big issue. So where does that actually come from? Is there a way... Can we fit down here? We cannot. Is there a way to get underneath that without having to, like, go under the planet's crust? Looks like the answer to this question might be no. Well, I bet the things to activate these columns are underneath this building. Alright, what is this over here that's glowing? Was this the top side of the forge? And hey, another one of these things. Although this one's not turned on. So this symbol, which maybe means forge, potentially, was definitely on Hearth as well. And on Hearth there was one of these in roughly the same orientation right next to it. But the one on Hearth was doing stuff. It was, like, turning. I thought perhaps counting down, but maybe just serving as, like, a visual status indicator for the forge. Looks to me like getting underneath the thing we're looking at here would be pretty non-trivial. Yeah, in order to access the space below this, I'm assuming we would have to get up to the indication of the forge that is on the roof of that cavern we were in, right? Yeah, I think we may have reached the end of our useful exploration for this cycle. Okay, nothing interesting up here. It was nice of Feldspar to leave that jetpack fuel. Yeah, I don't really see anything else around here. Are there any signals nearby? Maybe something a little closer? That's just going to be the guitar, right? Yeah. Okay, we're getting that music cue that tells us that the sun has reached full red giant status and will soon be shrinking down into something considerably meaner. I guess let's just pick a direction and walk? Well, even that's going to be tricky, right? Because of the status of the core. Okay, let's try to land on that. Right, hard to slow down? Okay. I don't know exactly where we are relative to the stuff we were just looking at. Let's see if we can... Oh, that's a problem. So there's the broken columns. We're definitely not going to be able to access the forge from here. Well, I guess let's just see what's at the other side of this bridge, then. I think we can see the crystals that lead up onto the ceiling. That, I think, is one of those warp tube endpoints. So I think this big bridge might just connect the, Oh, really? Hold on. Where am I? Oh, we're right above him. Okay, not a big deal. So here's our map. Oh, I didn't actually read these before, did I? Well, that was deeply unpleasant. I made it this far, though. Yes, that's the part to focus on, and not how I'll eventually have to get back up that path. So that's just Ryback's notes. I bet there's nothing actually useful in those. Well, we learned a lot here. Not in the sense of, like, obtaining any answers, but we now have many new questions, at least. And you know what? No, we did obtain some answers. We know way more about the Nomai, how they got here, why they're here, and sort of who they are culturally than we did before. And maybe that's the first step toward some kind of concrete knowledge that we could actually use to save ourselves and potentially the solar system. I still think the business of preventing a star from going supernova is maybe a little bit out of our reach, but clearly the game doesn't. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching this time. Come back next time to... Geez, I don't know what we're going to do. You know what we're probably going to do? We're going to go to the Brittle Twin and see if we can't find that anglerfish skeleton. That should be horrifying. And we'll see you then.